There are lots of last-minute trades to go over, but the Russell Westbrook situation keeps getting worse. LeBron comes back early from an injury, and Russ almost ruins it. Turns the ball over, his shot was bad as ever. Even the Lakers crowd was telling him, please don't shoot.
Westbrook thought about it. Crowd kind of telling him no. And he missed it.
LA was down by 20, but came back because Frank Vogel sat him in overtime and LeBron dominated. Here's what LeBron said after the game.
Well, it's all about taking accountability for your own actions to begin. If you won't change, you got to look yourself in the mirror and demand more out of yourself. You know, if everybody come out and do their job, go out and play offensively and defensively the way coach and the coaching staff want us to play, then we give ourselves the best chance to win.
Okay, if you don't think that was a shot directly at Russ, I don't know what to say. We have to explore last-minute Westbrook trades along with other huge deals around the league. Teams are in 3 categories of motivation: blow it up teams, save the season teams, or get us over the top teams. Our first blow it up team is the Pacers. They could trade 2-time All-Star Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner. The best player is Sabonis. Reports say they want a Vucevic-type haul. The Magic got Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter Jr., and 2 first-round picks for Vooch. For Turner, they want a pick and a promising player. What about the Wizards get Sabonis for Kyle Kuzma, Rui Hachimura, Deni Avdija, and 2 firsts? The Raptors get Miles Turner for OG Anunoby and a first. I know Raptor fans hate the thought of giving up OG, but Scotty Barnes kind of does what OG does already. And getting Turner balances the roster. A report says the Wizards want Sabonis to pair with Bradley Beal, and this deal gets it done, but they are our next blow it up team because Washington is a disaster. They have 2 choices here with Beal. They can either sign him to a 5-year, $241 million deal, or rebuild. The Athletic reported Beal is no longer against a trade, but he hasn't actually asked out. The question for any team that wants to get him is, will he re-sign with us? Because Beal can be a free agent in the offseason, and it makes no sense to trade for him unless he's committed. What about the Sixers getting Beal and Davis Bertans for Ben Simmons, Danny Green, Furkan Korkmaz, and a first? This only happens if James Harden and Damian Lillard are off the table. The Wizards do this to restart with Simmons, who is way cheaper than Beal and like 4 years younger. Ben is the best player that DC can get back, and if they don't make that panic move for Domantas Sabonis, this is the trade. The next blow it up team is the Blazers, and can you believe what Damian Lillard just told LeBron on IG?
My King James and his Brian, what's happening? Hey, bro, make that call, bro. Tell them they need to make a decision, bro.
What? Is he saying for LeBron to trade for Dame? Or is he saying that they should hurry up and call in that pizza? The Lakers cannot trade for Damian Lillard. Stop it. The only way would be to, send out Anthony Davis. It's not happening. I think CJ McCollum is a lot more likely to get traded. Teams interested, according to reports. The Mavericks and the Pelicans? Okay, if the Pelicans trade for an old, overpaid point guard, what? You just had Drew Holiday, who is cheaper and better and less injury prone. For the Mavericks, I don't know, CJ McCollum for Maxi Kleber and Jalen Brunson and a first. The Thunder would have to take Tim Hardaway, but of course they'd require a first-round pick to take his horrible contract. Dallas does get a 3-level scorer here who has played at an all-star level. I don't love this trade because CJ is old and overpaid, but apparently the Mavericks are interested. The next blow-it-up team is the Kings, who apparently on the trade block have De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, but I want to move to the Save Our Season team, starting with the Hawks. Trae Young is playing great, they have won some games, but obviously something's not right. John Collins apparently is unhappy with his role, what else is new? And Atlanta is, quote, a strong suitor for Jeremy Grant. So the Hawks get Grant and 2 second-round picks for John Collins. The fit for Detroit could not be better. Collins, a great fit next to Cade Cunningham with his passing, and gives them athleticism and a lob threat and a guy who can shoot from 3. Grant is a great fit on the Hawks. He ups their defense. He's also a secondary shot creator behind Trae Young. I'm not saying he's a point guard, obviously, but he's shown in Detroit he can make shots, for himself and for his teammates. The Utah Jazz are a save our season team as well that could use Jeremy Grant, but I think Grant might be a little too expensive for them. But they have to do something. The Jazz cannot defend great teams, let alone Golden State or Phoenix in the playoffs. Instead, I think they should do Lou Dort, throwing in Semi Ojeleye. The Thunder get Dante DiVincenzo, Jordan Nwora, and throwing in Rodney Hood. And the Bucks get Jordan Clarkson. OKC gives up Dort for two good young players in Nwora and DiVincenzo, plus a first-round pick. Dort is easily Utah's best perimeter defender, who also makes up for the injured Joe Ingles offense. The Bucks part with DiVincenzo to get Clarkson, who is a bucket off the bench who adds depth. Dante has been inconsistent since he's come back, but Clarkson's veteran presence is a lot more valuable. Next is the Lakers, and look, I've looked all over the place for non-John Wall deals, and I can only see one that could maybe make sense. Lakers get Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, Alec Burks, and Taj Gibson. The Knicks get Russ, Kendrick Nunn, Austin Reeves, and the Lakers first. By the way, the Lakers would need to cut a player to fit all these guys on their roster, probably Trevor Ariza, but they swap Russ for two good three-point shooters in Kemba and Fournier, and they open up their offense without Russ. The Knicks do this because they think that Russ on their team can do what he did for Washington last year and get them into the playoffs. We can all see Russell Westbrook does not work as the third best player on his team. If he gets back to being himself, which he could be in New York, he could be the old Russ. That could be back-to-back playoff appearances. Plus, you add in two good young players and a valuable first, this could happen. The Celtics are a save our season team, but I want to get to contenders. Brooklyn is discussing a James Harden trade. He's not happy with the team overall. It's not even just about Kyrie, and he could leave in free agency for nothing. So to not lose him, they could trade James Harden for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and a first. And if Brooklyn wants more than this, Philly should hang up. Why would they trade really valuable pieces like Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, even more picks, if Harden could come for a lot cheaper in the offseason? Seth Curry is insurance for Joe Harris's shooting after his injury. Ben ups their defense, provides rebounds, and transition offense. On Philly, Harden is a great fit with Embiid, but not a great fit overall for this team. I'm not actually in love with this deal. I know that sounds crazy because they also need rebounding and defense, all of those things that they lost when Ben Simmons decided to sit out. But apparently Daryl Morey disagrees with me. And a lot of Warrior fans disagree with me that the Dubs should look to trade James Wiseman. And to me, there's only one player that they should target. And this required a lot of discussion, so I made an entire video breaking it down.